This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Was that good? Hi, hello, welcome to another special episode of Ranger Comic Time. This time, we will be reviewing Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers issue number 13. Woo! Oh, hold up, where is that? Where's my little thumbnail right here? Woo! So there's going to be Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. For anyone that doesn't know, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers are split up. I know it's like MMPR, but they're actually like split up comic books. So Power Rangers mostly focuses on the Omega Rangers, which are like Zach, Jason, and Trini. And then the Mighty Morphin focuses on the Power Rangers, but with the newbies from Stone Canyon Trio, which is Aisha, Adam, Rocky, and Aisha. So yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I do this podcast once a month, and I'm actually really, really excited to review this issue because the Eltarian War started. Woo! Which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, I want to see how this works because this issue, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers issue number 13, right here. I want to see how the Eltarian War kicks off because, like, to me, Shattered Grid sold very well back in like 2018. So, and then Necessary Evil was also really good too. I really like that arc. And so now that we're straying away and doing the Eltarian War, which is like the Omega Rangers and the Power Rangers coming together, because the Eltars, for anyone that doesn't know, it's basically Zordon's people, and they came to attack Earth. They're kind of like evil, but yeah. So it's so much going on, but yeah, I just want to let everybody know about what's been happening, and yeah. Oh my god, I see some viewers and whatnot. Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Mighty Morphin. Let me just set this up. Morphin plus Power Rangers review. Issue number 13 review. Okay, let me just set up the subtitle. There you go. So, here's a little quick recap from what happened last month. So, basically, Zardius, who we thought 10,000 years ago was Zordon's companion, he turns out to be evil. So, Zardius allegedly killed Zordon by breaking his glass and turning his own people against him. So, basically, Zardius is the evil one this whole time. You find out that the Eltarians, who are Zordon's people, the blue people who were originally like the Guardians of like Galaxy Guardians, right? You find out that they're no longer protectors, but they're rather conquerors, and they conquer planet and blows them up using the Imperials, which is kind of interesting, by the way. The way I think of it, because like I thought that 10,000 years ago, like they would still continue to protect planets, because that's what Zordon always believed in. But I think it's a different matter this time. So yeah, so like what I liked about Mighty Morphin issue number 13 is, let me start off with Mighty Morphin issue number 13. So it starts off like 10,000 years ago, right? The Eltarians like go to a wiped out planet. One guy who's just like this little frog is like telling them about what's happening, right? You find out that this guy in a cloak happens to be Zofram. For anyone that doesn't know, Zofram was allegedly the guy from the Eltars. He was a war hero, 10,000 years ago, and the Eltarians believe that he died, but he actually didn't die. Zofram actually became Lord Zed, which is kind of interesting because I didn't think Lord Zed was an Eltarian just because he's red. Lord Zed is red and the Eltarians are blue. But I could understand because, I think all of the Eltarians all have Z names, which is kind of interesting at the same time. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. So yeah. So you find out that like Zofram spared one guy's life, aka that frog. And the reason why he spared his life and wiped out the rest of the people on the planet was because he wanted this one guy to tell because he wanted to tell everybody. He wanted to spare this guy's life because he wanted everybody to tell his story. And so yeah, so cut back against to the present day, right? Zofram Zofram, of course, not Zofram, Zardius. What I mean, Zardius, the current guy, the current bad guy right now, destroys the command center. You remember it, like the last issue in Mighty Morphin issue 12, he kills Zordon, right? So when Zofram destroys the command center, right, Billy runs away with Alpha, and of course, right when they're about to get caught, they ran away, thankfully. So while this is going on, like we see the Sentry Force 4 fighting the Power Rangers, and I'm not gonna lie, I really like the Sentry Force 4, even though they're like the evil villains that side with Zardius and all that stuff. I always thought the Sentry Force 4 was like really cool just because they have cool gadgets and yeah, and everything. So I just like the way they look. That's just me. But thankfully, because the Power Rangers, right, in Mighty Morphin issue number 13, they have portals. They were able to escape. Thankfully, because I really thought the Sentry Force 4 was gonna kill them, but thank goodness they didn't. Whew. I was really happy for that. But yeah, I like this issue just because it had a lot of action. Not compared to Power Rangers issue 13, but it still had a good amount of action in there, right? So like the Power Rangers were able to escape. So but you see back at the moon, we see Zardius is talking to Zed through this hologram right here. Hold up, where am I? So we see Zardius, evil guy, talking to Lord Zed through a hologram. Zardius basically gave Zed this warning. And he also is like, bragging about how he destroyed Zordon, killed him, which is kind of interesting. Which is, by the way, I thought was funny because like Lord Zed could never kill Zordon, even though Zed always believed that he needed to take down Zordon and the Power Rangers. But like Zardius basically showed off and said, "Ha, I already did it first. What are you gonna do about it?" And then, by the way, during this time, like Zed's saying that the Rangers are dangerous, right, to Zardius. And Zed also believes in total control, right? Believes in total control. So Zardius, Zed originally wanted to join forces with Zardius in domination, but Zardius declines the alliance. Zed also tells his minions, like during the command center, now that Zordon's dead, he tells them, "Okay, you guys Squat, Babu, and Finster, you guys need to go to the command center." And while that's going on, we see this next page where Bulk and Skull, they create a podcast because they see alien invasion coming this way to planet Earth. And it ends on that cliffhanger, right? So while that's going on, the Power Rangers are now in Promethea because remember, the command center is done because Lord Zed is gone. I mean, not Lord Zed, Zordon is gone now. So they have no choice but to trust Grace Sterling. So the final page ends with like the Eltarian army coming after Promethea. And I'm just going to say it was beautiful. I like the ending of Mighty Morphin issue 13. So now Power Rangers issue number 3 on Mighty Morphin issue number 13. Now we're going on to Power Rangers issue number 13. So this one was also cool because like the Power Rangers were able to escape from danger. They were able to escape because in the last issue, Power Rangers issue number 12, they almost died. Thankfully, the portal was able to take them back to safe havens. If anyone doesn't know, the Omega Rangers currently reside in Safe Haven, where they seal all the monsters and put them in a vase. So yeah, we also learned that the Yael, which is like the blue ranger, was the one that saved them. Yael told them about how they received this message about the Master Arch asking them to save the Power Rangers, which is kind of interesting. We don't really know much about why the Omega Rangers were saved by Yael, but we know that there's like a sign. There was a sign about how the Omega Rangers are important to society, to everybody. So yeah, so while that's going down, like right when the Omega Rangers, are recovering, Zardius like attacks Promethea and the Rangers are fighting him off, right? This Power Ranger issue 13 was, by the way, to me, like had the most action, and I love the fight scenes and everything about this. So during that time, Zardius, and his Zardius and his army, Altarian army, is attacking Promethea. Tommy is asking the Omega Rangers through a hologram for help. So the Omega Rangers comes through and to fight in Promethea, right? Since Zordon is now dead and the command center is no use, they have no choice but to be where Promethea is at, which is their last home. For anyone that doesn't know, Promethea is where Grace Sterling lives, and she was the one that was able to power the green coin and revive back the new Green Ranger, who now happens to be Matthew Cook, which is, by the way, Kimberly's ex-boyfriend. I don't know. Interesting. But yeah. So the Omega Rangers comes in, to help fight off in Promethea, right? Since Zordon is gone, the Omega Rangers comes in, and it's like I love this issue because in Promethea, right, the fight scenes where the Omega Rangers and the Power Rangers are just coming together. They're just like fighting, and this thing's going on. We also see the Green Ranger, Matthew Cook, comes in, and he reveals himself as the new Green Ranger, right, to Zach. And Zach, who is, by the way, the Black Omega Rangers, like going like, what the heck's going on? Because like the Omega Rangers weren't informed that Matthew Cook was now the new Green Ranger. Oh, and by the way, Matthew Cook also revealed his identity to, the TV. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. So right when like Tommy fights Zeto, right? He's trying to like, who's trying to defend Zardius. Zardius basically was like, I give up. So then he sends over the Imperials. The Imperials blows up the Moon Palace and kills Zordon with it too. And by the way, I really like the way these Imperials look. They are super beautiful, and I love their like power and their potential because the Imperials basically can kill things and then bring things back to life. So right when that's happening, Imperials blows up the Moon Palace, kills Lord Zed in there with it. So the Omega Rangers, they retreat back to the command center, and Billy and Alpha are there, right? So right when Billy and Alpha were like trying to find a way to like save, they're stopped by Zed's minions, Squat, Babu, and Fister. But right when like the minions were about to attack Billy, the Red Omega Rangers, aka Jason Lee Scott, comes in through the portal and tells like Squad, Babu, and Fister what happened, and they were shocked. They didn't believe what was going on. But what I like was how Jason basically warns them right now that an Imperial is headed to Earth. And like, oh my god, I don't know, it's just this issue was really cool. Like the ending ends with basically like the Imperials come to the command center and blew it up. And so it ends here where hold up, where is it? Where basically the Imperials already killed off, the moon and Lord Zed's base, but it ends in this cliffhanger where we think the Imperials are gonna kill planet Earth. So that's where we're at the moment. So I'm really curious because this is the start of the Eltarian War. Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers issue 13 actually do connect to each other. So I always recommend reading both at the same time because it's easier to understand what's been going on because it kind of continues what's happening the Omega Ranger side. So yeah. That's pretty much it. I would say this issue, Power Rangers issue 13, has, I would say, like the best action, and it's the craziest. This probably is my favorite issue of all time because for once I see the Eltarians going at it. I would have thought Lord Zed was like the real villain, but all this time it was Zordon's people, the Eltarians. So yeah. Also, hold up, I have a comment. Hi, Jen. Oh, hi. I think that's Mike, I believe, or Boken. So yeah, overall, I for Mighty Morphin, I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10, just because there wasn't that much action. It was more like just cliffhangers versus Power Rangers issue 13. I would give that a 10 out of 10, just because like everything's already shown there. Everything is already, what would you call it? Everything is already leading up to the action. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, 7 out of 10 for Mighty Morphin, and 10 out of 10 for Power Rangers 13. And I'm really, really excited for how the Eltarian War is gonna affect and how that arc is going to change, comic books, and see how everything goes and it's planned out at the moment. So I'm really excited for like next month's issue and see how that's coming along. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for you know, for your support. I do Ranger Comic Time once a month. You're gonna see us again, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers issue 14 next month in December. And yeah, the Eltarian War is still going. The arc is still coming. So we'll see where that heads off, because I think maybe the Eltarians might need a new arc. Like they might have a new separate arc for next year, 2022. So yeah, let's see where that comes along. So yeah, and in terms of like my Instagram handle, you can find me at Instagram.genmessina, that is GNMESINA, and you can find me on TikTok at GMessy2, GMESI2. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for support, and I hope to see us here once every month. Thank you. Oh wait, hold up. And yeah, hold up. I'm trying to find the closing in.